That was funny.
Yeah, you can close the door. That's okay.
Hey, Mom.
That's interesting.
This mother came running out of her hiding spot, which is great because now we know where she is. She was above these boxes here. Now she's growling at us. She's not too happy that we're in her space here, but somewhere in this massive box section, I think she might try to go out. So, Cassandra, why don't we get her out?
Yeah. Use a pole or something here.
Okay, we're just gonna, because she's so close to the hole and she's a little agitated that we're in her space, we're gonna take this piece of wood here and just bump her on a bum and we'll get her to go out. And then we can, in peace, go after her babies. So, very gently, you ready? Okay, I'm gonna just give her a little nudge here and watch her go. Go on, Mom.
Oh, Raccoon, oh my God. Oh, he's up there. But you have babies?
Yeah, she has babies in there.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so that was pretty easy. And we know the babies are up here somewhere, so we haven't even estimated the job yet, but we're well on our way to solving it because we got her out of the picture. And now we'll close up that hole real quick just so she doesn't come back. And then try to give the babies back to her on the outside. Okay, she's on the roof now?
Yeah, she went up.
Okay, get a step ladder and
went up the roof, yeah.
let's get a step ladder and just close this.
So we're just standing here, getting ready for the job. And the mom just tried to come back in her hole. Let's just see if we can see her. There she is. Heading that way. Oh, she's gonna go down. Well, she was about to go down. She's unsure what she wants to do. Yeah. There she is. It's okay, Mom. You can go down. So. Last time I went over there, she came back down. Or went back up, that's why.
Okay, we've decided to go ahead and close the actual entry hole just so we keep her out of our hair while we're doing what we need to do inside. So I've put some screen there. I'm gonna finish screwing it in place. And then at that point we know that she's on the outside, babies are on the inside. We're starting to get some more information that the babies may be in the cathedral ceiling above the den. So she might just have been resting away from them in the ceiling of the garage. So we'll continue to close this and then we'll go inside and see what's going on there. We have some assumptions about what's going on here. We're not entirely sure. We do think that the mother was resting away from the babies in the garage when we went to do our initial inspection, and then she came and made herself known, and then you saw how she left, and we've now locked her out. So we're assuming there's one mother. In the wonderful world of wildlife, you never know. We could have two mothers and two sets of babies. We haven't explored the area where we saw the mother come out of in the garage. It could be another litter in there. But we want to deal with the most difficult part of this job right now. And so we know that there are babies in and around this area here. So we can hear them from inside the ceiling. So we're going to remove some shingles. We'll cut in. And if all goes well, we'll be able to extricate them from the ceiling and put it all back together. and then we'll take the next step. So okay, we're through the plywood. Let's see what we got. She's been down that beam. Okay, so this is definitely a place where she was laying with the babies, but right now there's nothing there. So what we want to do is just explore this a little further, because the drywall, I can show you, it's all bare. I think she was coming up from the soffit up space, but I want to look up what's above. So I'm going to pull this down in hopes that the baby's on top of it. I don't think so. But you can see it doesn't look like she's been laying on this. Oh, and that's clear. So we fully explored this space, and it was an active site for her to have her babies, but there's nothing in there. So we now have to move over. We have 2 other spaces to explore here to see exactly where the babies might be. We can hear them from inside, so we know they're here, just a little bit harder than we initially anticipated. So we'll continue to remove some shingles, cut in again, and this will all go back together the way it was, pretty much be as strong as it ever was. But most important thing right now is that we find those babies. So after some exploring, we've now revealed this spot, and I can hear babies, which I believe. It's sometimes hard to see hear exactly where it's coming from, but we have a beam here, we have a beam here, so I'm thinking they're right in here or up here a little bit. So we're just going to listen for a couple more seconds just to verify that, and then we'll cut in. What is going on? We can hear them. We can hear them, but we can't find them. Okay, so we've tried 2 joy spaces. Both have been occupied by the mother at some point in time. We can hear the babies in here somewhere. Still not exactly sure why. We're competing with the schoolyard down the street and the kids screaming, so we're not able to zero in on that noise. So we're kind of hit and miss here, and it's becoming a lot more complicated than I had hoped, but we got to keep going until we find them. With all this insulation, you can see it's all packed down. Normally it'd be a nice flat bat, so she's been above it. Can only hope that the babies are above it as well. Just want to check the perimeter as I get to it. Can't really say for sure just yet. Doesn't look like it. No, not in there either. After an exhaustive search, we cut 3 holes into the cathedral ceiling from the roof. We knew the babies were there. We could hear them from inside. But after we cut the holes, there was nothing to be found, which tells us that the babies are mobile. They're physically capable of moving from where they felt threatened to another area in the attic. So at this point in time, we consider it a long term, which means we need to let the babies grow up to a point where they're actually going out with the mother, and then we can put on our one-way door and the whole family will go out together, and then we'll come back and then close it up at that time. So at this point, there's nothing further we can do. We're going to leave, and hopefully within maybe 2 or 3 weeks, they'll all be outside the attic. Mama coming back.
So we are back a week later, and the mom has still been living in here. We weren't able to get babies the last day. So we just saw the mom go out the garage again, and we can hear the babies in here. They're definitely mobile with how they're sounding. We're going to reopen it and hopefully grab a baby so the mom can start the relocation process.
Just let the light go into the space for a bit. Maybe they'll get curious.
If they're in this one. If they're in this one.
They can go over. They can pass. So some strange events have happened since we were here last. We had a trail camera set up in hopes to catch the mother taking out the larger babies, which would tell us that we could then come back and close up the hole. But after viewing the trail cam footage, we did see the mother leave with the big babies, but within 24 hours, another mother with much smaller babies has moved into the attic. So where we thought we had reached a point of completion, we're actually starting all over again because of this mother, I guess, realizing that this attic space was vacant, has come from another den site in the neighborhood, as we know that they have multiples. And you'll see in the footage that she, with a baby in her mouth, climbs this downspout and goes back inside the attic with those babies. So we have a whole new job to do now, and we're going to see if we can find out where she has gone with the babies and try to get them out. I'm going to put my mirror in there with a light and just see if I can show you where she's at. We're just going over the wall here and get the mirror in place. There she is looking up. I don't know if you can see that. She's moving a bit. But there she is. I'm hoping she's willing to come up. She's growling. She's not too happy. She's on her babies. And she's only got one way up, which is past us, which makes it a little complicated. But let's just see what happens when I gently drop the grabbers down there as to whether she's willing to move or not. Oh, I had one. Oh, there she goes. Okay, she's going. All right, she's on her way out. That was what we needed to have happen. We needed to get off the babies so we could have access to them. Now, she's gone into the garage. She went somewhere in a hurry. Maybe she went down another space in the wall. So let's come and let's see if we can get the baby. So now I can reach in there without the fear of being bit. And she would have been a raccoon that would have bit me. Yeah, I think she's just gone down another wall space. We gotta be careful. If she's that close and I grab a baby, she could come rushing out to get that baby. To see how far down they are. They're a good distance down there. I think we're gonna cut into the drywall to get them. Okay, we're now at the point where we have the mother off the babies. She's gone in that direction. I think she's gone down another wall space, which is fine, as long as she's off them and I can safely reach in to grab them. So we're gonna go inside and cut a hole in the wall above them, and then I can reach in and grab them. They're just too far down to use any device to reach down and grab them through the opening from the top. So we'll go inside here and we'll cut in and we'll show you the babies. So it's peculiar that there is a cut that has previously been made in this spot. I'm wondering if years ago a mother raccoon went down in this exact same space. So I think the babies, when I reach over this wall, I can't touch them with my hands, so they're probably exactly where that patch is. But I don't want to cut there because I'll be cutting right beside them. So I'm going to cut slightly above, and then we'll have access to them. Making sure I'm not touching anything as I do this. A little slow. They're still a ways down. Use the mirror again. There they are. Yeah, they're still a good distance down. Got a little bit of drywall dust on them. I'm seeing two at least. Sorry, buddy. Eyes are open. Yep. So there's the one with the drywall dust on his face. Trying to look up. Sorry about that, buddy. So I'll reach in and see if I can grab him. I'm going to reach in now and grab one of the little guys. They're being nice and quiet is exactly what I want. It's okay, little guy. You got eyes open. Mom coming. I know. So their eyes are just opened. This isn't the guy with the drywall dust on him. He kept his head down. So these were the little guys we saw the mom bring in from another location. So she moved, one raccoon moved out and this mom moved in. These babies are pretty young for this time of year. Normally they're, 2 to 3 weeks older. Okay, so we'll put this guy in a baby bag. Try not to let it cry. We'll go after the other guy. Oh man, you got dust all over you. I want to help you out. I'll give you back to your mama. You just can't live in this house. I don't want you in here. Yeah, no worse for the wear, just a bit of dust on them. We'll clean them up. Very cool. Mom picked a good hiding spot. We had to work hard to get you. Okay. I'm just going to do a final check. Make sure there wasn't one hiding underneath. Yeah, and we got a third. There's a third little guy in here. Here he comes. Hey, buddy. All of them have their eyes open. So they're just a little bit beyond 3 weeks of age. This is a little boy. Hey, You got a bit of dust on your nose too. This never gets old. It's always remarkable seeing these little guys and having the opportunity to remove them humanely. I wouldn't have it any other way. Just they deserve to live. They create conflict, unfortunately, with homeowners, but we want to remove them in the kindest way possible and get them back to their mother. And as we always do, one final check. Yeah, and that's it. I can reach all corners. I'll double check with the mirror, but that's all we have in this situation is 3 babies. Raccoons. Yeah. We were unsuccessful to lure the mother out using a baby, so we're gonna go to a baby box setup on the roof. From previous video, we've seen where she comes out the opening, climbs onto the roof, and then somehow finds her way off the roof, maybe on the tree. It's over there, or some way like that. By knowing how she gets out of that hole is to our advantage. We want to put the babies in her path. Set up the baby box right here. Baby number 1. Eyes open. And this is, that's a boy. No, a girl, sorry. That's a little girl. Into the box. Oh, now you're gonna get noisy. Baby number 2. And this is a boy. Little boy. Oh, he's got a tick. Got a tick on his butt. I'm gonna remove that for him. Mom probably picked that up on her travels and then transferred the tick to him. So that wouldn't have been very good to have that growing. Hasn't been on there very long because he's not engorged, but certainly we want to kill him as well. That's not good to have. So got a little bit of blood from him. I'm glad we saw that. Yeah. Okay, into the baby box with baby number 2. And last but not least, this little guy. He was the one that took all the drywall on the face. Mom will clean him up better than we can. She'll lick all that off for him. And this guy, a girl, is a little girl. So we have 2 girls and a boy. And having more girls and boys in the family means more babies in the neighborhood. So more mischievous behavior by you guys, right? That's the 1 foot up in the air about. Okay, into the baby box. So that's all 3 settled in here. And we'll set up a camera to see what happens overnight. If everything goes according to plan, she should come out and in fairly short order relocate the babies to an alternate den site somewhere in the neighborhood. They always rely on multiple den sites in case something like this was to happen. A predator was to find them and they needed to move shop, so to speak. They will pick the babies up and take them to a den site they've already well established. Okay, we'll close the lid to the box. Put on the carabiner, keep it closed, and then we'll just attach the box to the roof so that when she's going in and out, she doesn't disturb it to the point where it's gonna fall onto the ground. Just to keep their attraction away from this hole, we're gonna just close it a little bit. Mom will easily open that up. We're all set up. We will return tomorrow to see exactly what has happened. You never want to leave the babies more than 24 hours alone just because something could happen. One could climb out of the box. We just want to make sure that everything's going according to plan, and that's something that's real important for the way we conduct our business. We don't just assume that things happen the way we want them to happen, because it simply isn't the case. Our business is not an exact science. It's not like a plumber or electrician where whatever action they perform on a house, they know the outcome. We have no idea, which makes this job incredibly interesting, that on each and every situation, anything can transpire, and we always have to be thinking on our feet as to how we will make our next move in order to make the job a success. So we'll see what happens overnight, and we'll be back tomorrow. So we just pulled up. We're gonna go up on the roof and check to see whether the mother came out and got her babies. Without the assistance of the trail cam, we probably would have closed this hole up, thinking that the mother had moved out with her larger babies because they became mobile. But the trail cam told us otherwise, and good thing for that. We knew that we had a mother and more babies inside, and we successfully removed them from the wall. As you saw, the hole is now closed, the customer is happy, and the job is complete. On to our next job.